Hello, and welcome back to the Hoops and Hot Takes podcast. As you can see, tonight we are a two-man show. Zach and Ryan are not here today, and there's no guest. So it's just me and Carson today. Uh, yeah, today what we're talking about. So, as many people know, well, maybe you don't know, Doc Rivers made the Hall of Fame. It's a dark day for basketball. It says a lot about like the seriousness of the NBA Hall of Fame compared to other Hall of Fames. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. And then, as like lately, this NBA MVP discussion has been getting a little bit more heated. Uh, yeah, we'll be talking a little bit about that. Who we think should be MVP, some arguments for each MVP candidate. Yeah. And then lastly, I think we'll be talking a little bit about the seeding race and then some uh like playoff outlook.
Hmm.
Like just looking ahead to the playoffs.
Hmm. Right. A little update on Ryan. Um, the man is apparently
Mhm.
heartbroken because
Oh.
Luka suffered an injury today
Oh, he
versus the
did?
Thunder. Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Hmm.
Oh, interesting. Not to prey on another man's downfall. Well, actually, no. Preying on another man's downfall. That's all I do. But not to celebrate another man's injury. I am playing against him in fantasy finals.
Hmm.
So
We
not
also
even
have
not.
him in one of your fantasy finals.
Oh, I do have him in one of my leagues, but that league, yeah, I'm not too worried because I also have Tatum and Wemby,
Hmm.
quite the big three. So, and also leading by like 500 points. So, losing Luca is not the biggest of deals.
Hmm.
All right, well, let's talk about Doc Rivers.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have to look at the kind of the precedent of which coaches are
Right,
in the Hall of Fame.
right, And also,
I
I just want to get this out of the way. You were doubting last. I remember like one of our first videos. We were talking about Rick Carlisle potentially being a Hall of Famer.
yes.
And you were saying, no, there's no way Rick Carlisle's a Hall of
Well,
Famer.
I didn't say no, no way.
Actually,
I
no,
just
no, 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 because that video was, I said, if the Pacers win it all, Rick Carlisle's a Hall of Famer. I think you were leaning towards agreeing. Now,
yeah.
off camera, I said it again. I think Rick Carlisle's a Hall of Famer, and you disagreed with me. I think after Doc Rivers makes the Hall of Fame, I think Rick Carlisle is definitely a Hall of Famer.
Doc Rivers is a bigger name.
Right. But Rick Carlisle is a better coach, and like it's just better everything. Like they have the same amount of titles. Rick Carlisle has they have this do they have the same amount of finals appearances? Both two, right? And then
Yeah, I think it's both too. Yeah.
yeah. No, I know Doc Rivers is two. I'm trying to think if Rick Carlisle is the third one. Was he the coach of the Mavericks when they lost to the Heat?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, yeah. Yeah, basically Rick Carlisle is better than Doc Rivers. It's basically what I'm trying to say. He's beat him in back-to-back years in the finals. Or not in the finals, in the playoffs.
With better teams.
What do you mean with better teams? You think the Bucks teams were better? You
The
mean
Pacers
that
team
the
are
Pacers are
better.
better than the Bucks? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. First year is debatable. Oh, the first year also Giannis is injured. So good. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think like I wouldn't have Doc in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not like totally surprised. He's definitely built a reputation, both
Mhm.
as like, like a fraud and a choker among the fans.
Right.
But like he's pretty respected, and he's
Uh-huh.
been a head coach in the
Uh-huh.
league for like 20 years. Um, so it's not that surprising. I think among if you look at like the most wins by a
Right.
coach, I mean he's up there. Just like regular season.
He's sixth all time.
Yeah, right. And I'm sure the five ahead of him are all in the Hall of Fame or are going to be Hall of Famers. Like I'd imagine
Okay,
Spoelstra is there as well. Um,
let me check.
yeah. Um, although I can see what you're saying. I don't know. I don't feel too strongly about it because I mean
Hmm.
the 2 years he made it to the finals with the Celtics team, they definitely were a super team, right?
Yeah.
But and he gets a lot of credit for it anyways. But yeah.
Hmm. Uh, all right. Let me read you the top five regular season wins leaders. So obviously, number one's Pop, right?
hmm
Pop's in the Hall of Fame. Second's Don Nelson. You know Don Nelson?
Sounds kind of familiar actually, but I
I
don't
can't
know.
say I can't say I'm
But
too familiar with this man,
I
Don
can't say
Nelson.
I'm familiar either. He's in the Hall of
Maybe we
Fame.
don't know ball, but like number three, Lenny Wilkens. Can't
hmm
say I'm too familiar either. You know
Mm,
Lenny Wilkens?
I know Lenny Wilkens.
What did he do?
He was the Knicks coach.
Oh, he was he? When?
Like I'm thinking in the 70s. I think he also played for the Knicks.
Well, okay, here it says his main achievement. Wait, you know what? I'll just go to his Wikipedia page because it's
But
NBA.com is not very clear whether this title with the Supersonics is as a player or as a coach. Because he's a Hall of Fame point guard, like as a player too. He's a nine-time All-Star.
Don
Okay,
Nelson, Bucks, Knicks, and Mavericks, and
right.
Warriors.
So Lenny Wilkens was NBA champion in 1979 as a coach for the Supersonics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jerry Sloan.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Hmm. Uh, I mean, I'm looking at this. Would you have, other than Pop, would you have any of these four coaches in your top five all time?
Uh, Probably not, no.
Would
Because
you have them in your top 10 all time?
uh let's see. Wait, you said there's
It's so Don Nelson, Lenny Wilkens, Jerry Sloan.
right. Uh,
Oh,
uh,
interesting. Jerry Sloan is a five-time champion as a player. Oh, never mind. He was one of those Bill Russell guys who just rode along for a bunch of championships.
mm, nah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think any of them would probably be in my top five. And top 10, uh, top 10, I'm not too sure.
Right. Jerry Sloan has never been coach of the year, and he's also never won a ring. Yeah.
I see. Lenny Wilkens was Cleveland coach during the Mike Price era. And then he did coach the Knicks, but that was much later. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then
Mm.
number five is Pat Riley. Obviously, I don't know. Pat Riley's like Pat Riley's.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I need to think about it. Is he top five?
Pat
Probably.
Riley is top five. Pat Riley
Probably. He's
definitely
probably
is
like
top five.
four or five.
Pat Riley is definitely top five.
Do you know your top five?
Uh, well, Pat Riley is definitely top five. Popovich is definitely top five.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Auerbach's definitely top five.
Uh-huh.
Jackson's definitely top five.
Uh-huh.
Um, hmm. And honestly, but someone more recent, like is Spoelstra top five?
Is Spoelstra top five? Is Kerr top five?
Mm,
No, Kerr's not top five.
Hurts definitely not top five.
Uh Kerr might be top 10 though.
Nah,
Oh,
the
throw your
way Kerr
curveball.
has been, no, Kerr is not
Throw
top
your
10.
curveball. You know who is the number one coach in the world from the year 2000 to 2022? The most respected basketball coach in the world. But by
From
metric of this guy was
wait,
the
wait,
coach
from
of Team
what?
USA.
From what? Oh, Coach K. But no, we can't count him.
Yeah, we can't count Coach K though. But yeah, Coach K was the Team USA coach.
Yes, yeah, he was Team USA. Who else is there? I mean, honestly, if we're talking top 10, I have to throw in a lot more recent coaches just because I'm more familiar with them.
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel like
Right.
D'Antoni would probably be in the conversation of top 10. Mike D'Antoni.
Who is D'Antoni?
Mike D'Antoni.
Are you just saying his name weird?
No, Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni. He coached the Steve Nash Suns and the James Harden Rockets. Yeah.
Right.
He also coached the Knicks with Jeremy Lin,
Right.
Carmelo Anthony. He's got to be somewhat. I wouldn't say he's very high on the list, but he should be like in the top 20, I think, in the
Well, I
most
think
coaching list.
I don't know. This might be a me thing, but I feel like to be top five, you do need a ring.
Right, he's never won a ring. He has this, but his offenses are really great. And the Mike D'Antoni offense.
Hmm. Okay, let's get back on topic of Doc Rivers. Why do I have a problem with Doc Rivers? Well, it's really just about playoffs. You think about it, like so many coaches have done so much more with so much less. No coach ever has been given as much as Doc Rivers has been given. Think about the players he's coached. He coached Tracy McGrady, right? Or actually, let me just pull it up.
Ah, hmm.
Okay. He's coached Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Tracy McGrady, Chris Paul, Patrick Ewing, Ben Wallace. He coached Patrick Ewing and Ben Wallace. When was this? And he coached the
Yeah,
Magic, Celtics, Clippers, Sixers, Bucks. Oh, he coached Harden. He coached
yeah,
Embiid.
yeah,
He coached Giannis. He coached Dame. Just
yeah.
like except for that one time where he had a like bona fide super team. This guy can't get anything done.
Well, I mean, they're always good. Doc River teams are always very good. In fact, they're often favorites. But yeah, the big thing is they always choke the big leads. Big seriously.
No, last year they lost the Nets by 45 points. Do you remember that? They had a 45-point loss to the Nets.
Like in a regular season.
Yeah, in the regular season.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. 45 points.
Oh, actually, when the NBA announced their 75 greatest players, they also had a 15 greatest coaches.
They
Um,
did.
yeah. So Steve Kerr was on that list. Don Nelson, Jerry Sloan, and Lenny Wilkens were also on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doc Rivers was on that list.
Big
Oh, Larry
mistake.
Brown. Yeah. So Chuck Daly. Okay. Casey Jones. Okay. I definitely would not have Steve Kerr in my top 10, and I wouldn't have Doc Rivers in my top 10 either. But I don't think it's like out of this world to really have Doc Rivers in the Hall of Fame. I think you just build a reputation among the fans. But he's like the fact that he's even been in that position so many times where
No,
he could
this
choke
guy's
that.
like the king of excuses too. Like you have a guy who said, I don't, people give me so much hate for blowing these 3-1 leads. They don't give me enough credit for getting to 3 wins. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How are you not able? No, just thinking about Doc Rivers just makes me mad. Like he is most game 7 losses, most blown 3-1 leads, most blown 3-2 leads, most losses in a closeout game. He has 32 losses in closeout games.
Right, right. Oh, actually, yeah, like instead of Doc Rivers, um,
Teams coached by Doc Rivers have been eliminated at home 11 times.
mhm.
The 2021 Philadelphia 76ers became the only team in 25 years to blow an 18-point lead or more in consecutive playoff games.
Hmm.
Doc Rivers has never won a game 7 on the road.
Yeah.
Rick Carlisle has. Like, oh, you name any coach, they've won a game 7 on the road. How has Doc Rivers never won a game 7 on the road? What are we doing?
Yeah, I guess Rick Carlisle's probably gonna be a Hall of Famer as well. Um, is Rick Adelman a Hall of Famer? I need
Uh,
to check that.
I believe he is. Because I think he's right. He's like 10th all time in coaching wins. I think,
Well, yeah, like he's definitely one of the greater coaches as well. He coached a lot of good teams.
he was inducted in 2021.
Okay, yeah.
Is he related to David Adelman?
Yes, he's Dave Adelman's dad.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Was not
uh,
aware of that.
but David Adelman isn't as good. Rick Adelman, yeah, he coached Yao Ming, the Rockets. He coached the Chris Webber Kings.
He coached Clyde Drexler's Portland Trailblazers.
He coached Carter Drexler's Point Trailblazers. Yeah.
He coached the Sacramento Kings team that Hal Young always talks about.
Yeah, Chris Webber Kings. Yeah.
And then the Timberwolves. Interesting.
Oh, you coached the
Also,
Timberwolves as well?
yeah, 2011 to 2014.
No.
But they weren't good though. I think that was like when they were tanking.
That was with Kevin Love.
Oh, yeah, that was with Kevin Love. You're right.
Yeah. His son, David Adelman, man. Dude, David Adelman is so funny. I don't have the same kind of feelings for David Adelman as I did once for Mike Malone.
Oh, you do still like Mike Malone. Actually, you were a huge Mike Malone guy.
The problem is like I think it just hasn't been enough time, you know. It's only been a year with David Adelman.
Hmm.
If I give him like
All
8 years, you know, it'll probably be good.
Let me read you every one of Doc Rivers' Game 7 losses. May 4th, 2003. It's the Orlando Magic against the Detroit Pistons. They lose 93 to 108. They blew a 3-1 series lead. May 7th, 2005. He was the coach of the Boston Celtics. Against the Indiana Pacers, they lose 70 to 97. A 27-point home loss. May 17th, 2009. Boston Celtics against the Orlando Magic. This is to go back. They are defending champions to go back to the NBA Finals, I believe. Or was this? Anyways, they lose 82 to 101. They blew a 3-2 series lead. June 17th, 2010. Boston Celtics against the Los Angeles Lakers. 79 to 83. Blew a 3-2 series lead in the NBA Finals. June 9th, 2012. Boston Celtics against the Miami Heat. They lose 88 to 101. Blew a 3-2 series lead. May 17th, 2015. He coached the Los Angeles Clippers. This is against the Houston Rockets. They lose 100 to 113. Blew a 3-1 series lead. April 30th, 2017. Clippers against the Jazz. They lose 91 to 104. This one, not that big of a deal. They were the higher seed, but like they didn't like blow a lead or anything. I think this one they actually forced game 7. They just lost. So that happens, you know. September 15th, 2020. LA Clippers against Denver Nuggets. They lose 89 to 104. They blew a 3-1 series lead in the bubble. If I remember correctly, this is the day you kicked the chair, right?
Oh,
Was this the day you
yes.
kicked the
Yes,
chair?
that is the yes. That was the
Mm,
day Jamal Murray had 40. Kawhi had like 13 and Paul George had 9. So
right.
like, no, he also plays with chokers. I mean, Kawhi isn't a
Kawhi Leonard is
choker.
not a choker.
Yeah, but Kawhi choked that time. Chris
Right.
Paul, all right. Chris Paul isn't much of a choker,
No,
but like
the common
the, the
denominator is him.
James Harden,
Every single time, the common
Joel
denominator is
Embiid.
him. Sure, Tracy McGrady is a choker. Sure, well, Tracy McGrady is a different story. Now
Wait, but
he's
with
like
Tracy
playoff choker, known
McGrady, they
playoff choker.
they they were up 3-1 as the eighth seed. Or was it like 2-1? I think back then it was still 2-1. No, it was 3-1.
No, they were up 3-1 and they blew the 3-1 lead.
Yeah, and they were the eighth seed.
That doesn't matter. You're up 3-1.
Yeah, but they were the eighth seed.
I mean, sure, I guess it's impressive he got to 3-1, but you
Yeah.
were up 3-1.
Wait. I wasn't really. I was kind of zoned out when you were listening to Slam against. Just go through the ones. Don't say the score again. Just go through the 3-1 ones. Like which
Okay,
teams?
so 2003,
Yeah,
he was the Magic coach. He blew
yeah.
3-1 series lead against the Pistons. Uh,
Well,
2015,
wait.
he was coaching the
He was
Clippers.
2003 Magic. Who was on the Magic?
T-Mac.
Oh yeah. That was the Magic Pistons one. Okay, all right. Okay, right. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, 2015, he
yeah.
blew a 3-1 series lead to the Rockets. 2020, he blows
Oh,
3-1 series lead
that
against
was
the
Clippers
Nuggets.
Rockets, right?
Yes, Clippers
2015.
Rockets.
Yeah,
And
and
then,
then
not to mention, with the Sixers, he lost. They were the number 1 seed, and they lost at home, 96 to 103 against the Hawks. And then May 14th, 2023,
wait, but Sixers
they
Hawks
lose.
they didn't blow a 3-1 series lead.
No, but they were the number 1 seed and they lost at home.
Yeah.
And then Sixers against the Celtics, they blew a 3-2 series lead. Joel Embiid and James Harden both disappeared. They let Tatum drop 51 in Game 7.
Yeah. I feel like with all of
Right.
these, you can point to the superstar.
But here's the thing, though. Your point, like the common denominator is him,
Well, if
right?
you're
At a certain point, sure, you can blame the superstar, but at a certain point, it
right,
gets to a point where it's no longer the superstars. Where, like, sure, you do blame the superstar, but at a certain point, it's also his fault.
right, and part of the problem with Doc Rivers as well is because he doesn't take accountability. He's always throwing his players under the
Right,
bus.
exactly. There is always an excuse for this man. There's always an excuse. Like, what? Okay, tell me, what is the point of the Hall of Fame?
To
Like,
honor,
obviously, like you put good players in the Hall of Fame, but why are we doing this? Why does the Hall of Fame exist?
so they can be remembered, their legacy.
No, partially, but the thing is, you're honoring greatness. You're
But yeah,
honoring players. You're creating a hall where like young players look up to these people and say, this is a model of what basketball should be. These are players that we want to model our game, model our character after, because this is the pinnacle of basketball. Doc Rivers is not what you want to be modeling your coaching off of. If you are a coach, you do not want Doc Rivers to be the role model of the next generation of coaches.
okay.
You do not put Doc Rivers into a hall saying, this is one of our greatest coaches ever.
Okay. Sure, yeah, I agree.
All right. You said you wanted to talk about Mari Stoudemire?
Yeah, I mean briefly. I think like I'm not mad at Amari Stoudemire's in the Hall of Fame. I have nothing against him. Right. And then the NBA Hall of Fame, the basketball Naismith Hall of Fame. It's like, it's whatever. But like if I had to like say, if it was my call, I would not put Amari Stoudemire in the Hall of Fame. This is kind of similar like Derrick Rose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which Derrick Rose also peaked higher. Uh,
Right.
I wouldn't put Derrick Rose in the Hall of Fame. And that one I'm a little more like, like I might just because he's the MVP, youngest MVP and whatnot. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But Amari Stoudemire, I mean, at his best, he wasn't the best player on his team, right? And if he was like a good like Robin, I mean, he was a great Robin, but if they were like a championship winning team, then sure. But like they also weren't championship winning, you
Right.
know? And also the year he was out with the Suns, so I think it's 2000, yeah, 2005, right? 2004, 2005, Nash wins his first MVP. They win like 60 something games, 62 games or something. Nash wins MVP. Stoudemire is top 10 in MVP voting. He had a great season, right?
Mhm.
The year
Right.
after, Stoudemire is out for most of it, right? Steve Nash wins MVP again. And they're
Mm.
not as good as they were, but they still win like 50 something games and Nash wins MVP.
Mm.
I just don't think he was actually all that. He's a little bit more of a product of Steve Nash. I think he was definitely a great player. He's a really athletic player. He was a decent, rebounder. He could score. He was one of the best
Mm.
like inside scorers. He was
Mhm.
also a decent shot blocker. But like that's kind of just what he is. He's decent. He's really good. He's a star, but not a Hall of Famer. And then
Mm.
if he had a very long career, and I also see the argument. And he did like stick around for a bit. He played maybe like, I don't know, if I had to guess, like 13, 14 seasons, right, in NBA.
Mhm.
But how many of those are healthy? He got to the Knicks, right? Gave them one good season. And the seasons afterwards, I mean, he was still a decent player. He just wasn't playing. Right. He'd give you
Mm.
20, 30
Right.
games like every year. Um,
Right.
yeah. So not only were, I mean, he was the number two option. They didn't win a championship. Uh, Steve Nash, the year without him, the Suns did pretty good, right? Steve Nash won MVP again. But also before Steve Nash got to the Suns, they were a terrible
Mhm.
team. And Stoudemire was already there. Now, I believe he only had a few years there. He was pretty young. So I can't blame him too much for them not being very good.
Mhm.
But they were very like not good. Like I don't think they won maybe like 20, maybe 30 games. And then Steve Nash got there and immediately they went 60 games.
Yeah.
So it's like I think a lot of this is like a lot of this is like Steve Nash is just really, really great. Like he's become underrated just because his numbers aren't
Mhm.
great. But also, I mean,
Mhm.
that's not even true. He has great numbers. He's very efficient. He just doesn't score a lot. But
Yeah. The
yeah, I
Tyrese
just don't think
Halliburton of
Stoudemire.
2 generations ago.
Right, exactly. He is what Tyrese Halliburton
Honestly,
would like try to like
honestly,
emulate.
you want to hear a banger comparison? Pascal Siakam and Amari Stoudemire.
Right. Pascal Siakam has made it to two finals.
Oh, that's true. He has. And Pascal Siakam is an NBA champion.
Right, and he's won one of
Actually,
them.
no.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam is definitely better than Amari Stoudemire.
I don't know about that.
No, no, no. Stop it. Stop, 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 stop.
Like career wise,
Pascal Siakam.
maybe he's probably
Yeah.
greater all time. But like Amari Stoudemire had a legitimate argument for being like a potential like top 10 player, like a top 15 player. Siakam's never been in that conversation. Top 15 player in the league.
Yeah,
Partially
probably not.
because, yeah, partially because the league is just deeper now, right? Just a lot more
Hmm.
stars. But like, no, Siakam has never been like a top 20 player in the league. And Stoudemire was for like a couple of years. Definitely top 20.
No, but also like during Siakam's prime, he was playing in Canada. And like it's like no offense, actually all offense to Canada, but nobody cares about them.
Yeah, like Stoudemire was a six time, right? He's a six-time All NBA, five
All-star,
second.
all-star.
Oh, yeah. Six-time All Star, five-time All NBA, four what?
Right.
Four second team, one first team. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Siakam hasn't done that.
Right.
So no,
Siakam does
I
not
still
have a
think
first team.
Stoudemire is better. I do like the comparison though. I also do like the Steve Nash, Tyrese Halliburton comparison. Obviously, both Nash is better than Halliburton and Stoudemire is better than Siakam for now.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about Nash being better than Halliburton. I don't know about that.
Nash is a two-time MVP,
Right. And people dispute like, the validity of those
right?
MVPs.
Because people don't know what they're talking about. They say Shaq or like, and then they say Kobe and feel
And
LeBron.
also the league
LeBron
was
did not
the
get a
league
first
was
place
weaker
vote.
then.
It was not close
The
at the
league was
time. People
the
it's
league
just
was
LeBron.
weaker.
No, yeah, the league is. I can give you that, but like, it's the reason why these are disputed is 'cause LeBron fans from 2026 are going back in time and say, look at LeBron's numbers. Look at Nash's number. LeBron should have been MVP. LeBron did not receive a first place vote, right?
Right.
So at the time, it was not disputed at all. It was
Hmm.
Nash and Shaq was kind of close, and then Nash
Yeah.
and Nowitzki was kind of close, and Nowitzki won one of those years because Nash was almost going to win three in a row, right?
Right. And then
And then
Nash and
Nash and
Kobe was
Kobe was
also a
kind of
thing.
close. Nash and Kobe was kind of
Yeah.
close, right? But LeBron was never in the conversation. Like LeBron had good numbers, right? But
Right.
until LeBron won his first, where like he was like you won 4 and 5 years, right? That was
No,
LeBron's
but okay,
time.
here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. If we want to talk about Halliburton versus Nash, Halliburton, okay, I think Halliburton has more positive impact on a team than Nash does.
What are we talking about? Nash
No.
went to the went to the Mavericks. Boom, they're good. He was on the Suns. They're good. He goes to the Mavericks. They're good. He goes to the Suns. They're good. He goes to the Lakers. He's kind of washed
Okay,
by this point.
just because
Yeah.
like you can't like discredit Halliburton just because he's only played for the Kings and the Pacers.
Well, I'm not
Like
discrediting Halliburton. I'm giving credit to Nash.
he comes to the Pacers. We're so good. We go to the finals. Dude, Nash's never done that. We go to the finals, right? And then Halliburton's gone. Boom, we're the worst team in the league. And next year, boom, he comes back. We're gonna be in the playoffs again. We're probably gonna win 50 games.
Well, the reality is it's a little different. When you're injured versus when you leave a team, it's kind of different. When your star is injured, unless you're like the Boston Celtics this year, part of what you're thinking is, okay, like how do I capitalize on this opportunity? Well, part of it is like maybe I can
Right.
tank this year, right? Maybe I can use
Uh-huh.
this year to develop more young talents. So I'm gonna like, not play a lot of my better players this year. Right. And also it
Uh-huh.
wasn't just Halliburton. Like, Nemhard was injured for a while, right? And Naismith was injured for a while. Like Siakam's kind of been the only guy who's been kind of been around the whole season. So
No,
it's just like,
Siakam's been injured more than any of the guys you named, actually. Siakam has played maybe 50 games.
okay. But anyways, the idea is like the Pacers as a whole, it's just like, you
Yeah,
know,
okay, okay.
right. I think
Sure.
Halliburton has the potential. Like his ceiling is like Steve Nash.
No, I think his ceiling's higher than Steve Nash.
Once again, Steve Nash is a two-time MVP, almost three
Right,
time.
right. No, but we're talking about pure ceiling actually.
You
I
think
think Halliburton's ceiling is a much better defender than Steve Nash ever was.
you think Halliburton can be a multiple-time MVP winner?
I think he can have the same offense. I think he'd be just as good offensively and much better defensively.
Well,
Of
if
course,
we're
I
just
don't
talking
think that's
about
ever going to
pure,
materialize, but if we're talking pure ceiling out here, that's what I think his ceiling is.
but like once again, I mean, we get to the kind of the topic of players are evolving and the sport is evolving. So yes, I think players now, on average, generally are better than players back then. That's just
Well,
kind of
that's
how.
not even what I'm talking about. I just think Halliburton is that good.
Yeah, so I'm saying like Halliburton could maybe he could be just as good as Nash, maybe he's even better. But like in terms of like I don't know, like their all-time ranking,
Hmm.
right? In terms of like them compared to their contemporary, like players, I don't at least right now, Halliburton has not reached that level, right?
Mm.
Halliburton even last season, right? Like uh, uh he was unfortunately and probably incorrectly voted for the most overrated player, right?
Right.
At one point in the
Yeah.
season by players,
Right.
right? This is by players. And
Yes.
also, Halliburton was maybe a top 10 player last season, right?
Mm.
Like we say, he's like top 10. Once again, like Nash was back-to-back MVP. He was
Yeah,
like,
but he was never the best player in the
he
league.
was never the best player. At that time, it would be LeBron. Not LeBron. At the time, it would be Kobe. No, sorry, not
Right.
LeBron. It would be Kobe, and then Wade, LeBron, Nowitzki, Nash. But like Nash would be like top five, Shaq, he would be in the top five area.
Sure.
Yeah. So I do like the comparison. Once again, I do like the comparison. And not to put
Okay.
Halliburton down. I think Halliburton himself would say Nash is, like greater and better at this point.
Right. Because Halliburton's humble.
Right, but I mean most players would say the same thing.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, it kind of off track. I think Amar'e Stoudemire shouldn't be an NBA Hall of Famer Basketball Hall of Fame, just in my.
Okay, but I think it's different though. Like Amari Stoudemire is just like a case of the NBA Hall of Fame being weak. But like I think like it's just like weak allowing a player that should only really be like a hall of good kind of player in. Meanwhile, I think Doc Rivers is the kind of coach where you like, even though he technically has the Hall of Fame resume, you really do just need to stamp your foot down and say, like, people like this are not entering our Hall of Fame.
Okay,
Like
Doc Rivers,
I
I'll
don't
give
want to
you that.
say I don't want to
I'll
say
give you Doc
morality. I don't want
Rivers.
to bring this. I don't want to make this like a morality thing. But it's almost like like NBA needs to have the NBA Hall of Fame needs to have some morals and keep Doc Rivers out.
But I'll give you Doc Rivers. I don't know about the moral part. I'll give you Doc Rivers. But I think a lot of what the NBA Hall of Fame is weak is because the historical precedent, right? Like we have a lot of just players from like long ago that like people don't even really know about. And part of it is because like, I don't know, people are ignorant, including ourselves. I would say
Right.
myself, right? But like, we have a lot of players back then who maybe had like 4 or 5 All-Star appearances and are in the Hall of Fame, right?
Right.
But if we're
Because
talking,
they were 3-time first team All Americans and had like 2 national
okay,
championships.
yeah, sure, sure. But I've seen within the 21st century, players that have played post 2000, the NBA Hall of Fame isn't actually all that like fraudulent. Like it's still easier than other sports leagues, right?
By
But the
far.
Basketball Hall of Fame, right, by 2000 onwards, it's still like, your average star, maybe even actually superstar is probably in the Hall of Fame, but your average star is not going to be in the Hall of Fame, right? Like who, if we put Amari Stoudemire in the Hall of Fame, we certainly have to put Derrick Rose in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
They were talking about like, is Paul Gasol the Hall of Fame, right? Actually,
Right.
Is Paul
I
Gasol
think
already
he
in the Hall
might
of Fame?
be.
Is he already in the Hall of Fame? He actually might already be in the Hall of
I think he's already in the
Fame.
Hall of Fame. Yeah,
Right,
he
but
was
if
inducted like 3 years ago.
you're
In fact,
Yeah,
uh no, keep going. I looked up if he was in top 75. He's not.
right. Well, Paul Gasol is definitely ahead of Omar Stoudemire. He was a 2-time
Right.
champion, right? Is Marc Gasol a Hall of Fame, right? Is I mean, I don't think he's eligible yet because he just retired not that long ago. But is Zach Randolph a Hall of Famer? Right? Is Kevin Love a Hall of Fame? These are all the questions we need to ask now.
Oh,
Like, is Kevin Love a Hall of Famer? He was an All NBA
right.
first team player. He's won championship. He's won one
Is Donovan
championship.
Mitchell a Hall of Famer?
Oh, Donovan Mitchell is certainly a Hall of Fame, but I'm also thinking like bigs.
See, we're jumping there way too quickly. In other Hall of Fames, we get a question like,
Well, yeah, we know that the Basketball Hall of Fame is weaker. We're just saying right now, if Amari Stoudemire, we have him inducted in the
"Oh,
Hall of
you're
Fame,
saying like it weakens it even more."
right? Like I don't
Okay, okay,
understand
okay.
because I understand in the past, like in the earlier times in the NBA when it was younger, we inducted
Uh-huh.
all these players. But I'm saying post 2000, right?
Right,
Amari Stoudemire is certainly like weaker than other Hall of Famers that have been inducted that have played post 2000. And if we induct
right.
Amari Stoudemire, are we inducting Zach Randolph, Mark Gasol, Kevin Love? Who
Hmm.
are some other bigs? Like, oh, LaMarcus Aldridge, right? Are these players Hall of Famers? Like LaMarcus Aldridge at his best, was he a top 10 player in the league? Maybe. Is DeMarcus Cousins in the Hall of Fame? Right? DeMarcus Cousins at his best was also probably a top 10 player in the league, right?
Hmm.
And he also unfortunately had injuries, kind of like Amari Stoudemire. I don't think Amari Stoudemire is that much better than him. Now, maybe
Hmm.
it's because I wasn't able to watch Amari Stoudemire in his prime. I was really young. But like even if you're just looking at like the narratives back then, his MVP votes, right? His
Yeah.
his role as being like the Robin, kind of like I don't know, Kevin Love or like I don't know, just like and they didn't win.
Right.
Like
Right.
Kevin Love has won. Uh,
Correct. But as a third option, but yes,
right.
still correct.
DeMarcus Cousins, actually no, he hasn't won. But like LaMarcus Aldridge, like there's all of these like solid bigs that I would have to consider putting in the Hall of Fame now, but I don't
Uh-huh.
want to put them in the Hall of Fame. And I think they're around the same level as Amari Stoudemire. But this is why I don't
Hmm.
think Amari Stoudemire should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the
Yeah.
do you have more you want to talk about?
No, I maybe one last thing because you said
Yeah,
Israeli. And I do think it's kind of interesting that like recently on social media and whatnot, like people have been very big on like how Israel is kind of influencing our society in America.
right.
Now, I don't completely buy into all that. Like obviously, I think part of it definitely, conspiracies come from places, and I think, I also have my thoughts on Israel, which, this is not a political podcast, so we won't really get into that. But I do think it's kind of interesting that you bring up that, he's Israeli and then he had these accomplishments in Israel. And I do wonder, and this is a question for the audience, if it's possible that his affiliations with Israel have anything to do with his induction to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's a good question. See, this is what you pay for, ladies and gentlemen. This is the type of insight that you will not get on other podcasts. This is why we are special. Does Bibi Netanyahu have anything to do with Amari Stoudemire being in the NBA Hall of Fame? These are
Hmm.
questions we need to answer.
Yeah, you gotta clip that. All right. Yeah, I think that we can move on. We're not gonna answer. That's a rhetorical question, for
Rhetorical question.
a
Rhetorical
rhetorical
question.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, rhetorical for now. We may do case studies in the future. But this is like content for deep into the off season.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, we can move on.
All right. So, this is actually like really awkward. This discussion that we're having because Zach, well, mainly Ryan, right? Because I was thinking that Ryan would be would be more of a pusher of the Luka MVP narrative than the rest of us. Because okay, right, and I was assuming you'd take Jokic. I don't know what Zach does. Zach's kind of a loose cannon all the time, but like,
No, Zach is
yeah,
definitely back in Luke, not Luca, Shea.
right. And I'd say I'm like a little bit of a Wemby guy. So that would have been really interesting if all four of us were
Oh, that
here.
would have been very interesting.
That would have been very interesting. So, I don't know. We might do this again another time when we have all four of us. But yeah, let's just
Well,
talk a little bit about it now.
I don't think we have to do it again because right now we're saying who we think is going to be MVP, who we think
Right.
should be MVP, and who we
Right.
want to be MVP. But we can do it when we do it again. It'll probably be the MVP has already been announced. So then we'll just be like,
Well,
okay,
we,
we're
we we
reactive.
never know. It can be like a short thing next week before because NBA MVP won't be announced yet next week.
Yeah.
So
But I'm
it
saying
can be
like
it can be
once
like
the MVP has been announced, I'm sure we're gonna have thoughts. Unless it's like
oh true.
honestly, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
if
yeah.
yeah, yeah, and by
That
then
that's
I
that's
think
very true actually. We
yeah.
can do this again after the MVP is announced. You're right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about it now. So I think it's no secret what you think, right?
But
So tell,
what
tell
do
us
I
why
think?
do you think Jokic
What do
should
I
be
think?
the MVP? Why should Jokic be the MVP?
Well, yeah. So the three questions. Who do I think will win MVP? Shea. Who do I think should be MVP? Jokic. Who do I want to be MVP? Obviously, Jokic as well. Um,
Right.
why do I think Jokic
Why,
should be
why do you think
MVP?
Shea will win MVP?
Oh, why do I
Why do you
think
think
Shea will
Shea
win
will win MVP?
MVP? Well, I
Yeah.
think well, in my opinion, it really comes down
Mhm.
to Shea or Jokic if I
Right.
had a vote. And I think
Uh-huh.
whereas last season I would have leaned more Jokic. Um, and last season was a historically close MVP race. I would have leaned more Jokic because I mean Jokic was healthy throughout the entire season, and that was Jokic's first time officially averaging a triple double.
Right.
The Nuggets were decent. Well, Nuggets were third seed, right? Yeah, Nuggets were third seed. Won like 50 plus games. So,
Mhm.
but Shea, I think I would have gotten my vote last year. Actually, no, I still would have voted for Jokic just because he's Jokic, right? But I think last year I have a better argument for uh SGA just because that's like his first time. And what he did was pretty historical, right? Very efficient 30. Now, this season he is better than he was last season. I don't think he's
Right.
that much better though. The last season the Thunder had more wins, more regular season
Uh-huh.
wins. They won 67 games, I think, right? And this season they won't get to that mark. I don't think they can get to that mark anymore. So they kind of declined a little bit. I know J-Dub's been out. I know Hartenstein was out for a bit, whatever. But like,
Mhm.
and Shea was also out for a bit. But I don't know. I just don't think he's at the point where he can win back. I know he can win back to back. Once again, he's one. It's between Jokic and Shea. but I
Mhm.
think like it's not as strong as the case versus Jokic, who's doing something that's truly unprecedented, right? Jokic this
And what
season,
is that? Yeah,
he's
to tell us what's truly unprecedented.
he's leading the league in rebounds, and he's leading the league in assists. That has never been done before. This is unprecedented. And you can give me like
Right,
Shea's like 30 point and his efficiency and shooting percentage.
right.
Like, sure, that's also unprecedented. That seems like a very like picked out, like a cherry pick kind of stat, which it still
Right,
matters. But very
right.
simple, just box score. Jokic rebound number one, assist number one. Also, it's not that close between him and second place. I think second place in assists is Cade Cunningham, who's like 9 point something.
Nah,
Jokic
but
is
also just
almost
because like
averaging
the
11.
good, the good, the good passers are all injured this season.
Oh,
The
Halliburton's
assist
injured. Trae
rackers
Young's
are
injured.
all,
Yes, yeah, Halliburton,
yeah,
Trae Young. Okay.
yeah. And like James Harden's been kind of like fat and like uninteresting.
No, I mean James Harden just has an average 10 assist the last few years. He's kind of fallen off a little
Yeah. Who else? Dame's not really a 10 assist kind of
bit.
guy.
Yeah, no,
Neither is
thanks.
Steph.
It's really just Trae and Halliburton. No, and Trae and
Yeah,
Halliburton are a lot. Like they're always going to be in the assist leader kind of
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
But yes, and rebounds, like you can say Sabonis is out, and you can say like I don't know, Embiid was not playing so much.
Zubac, Zubac been
Oh,
out.
Zubac, I guess. But I mean, regardless of all that, like
He's
the
competing with
fact is,
Wemby and Gobert now. Oh, Walker Kessler's out.
oh,
Walker
Walker
Kessler
Kessler.
is a
Oh, he
rebound
gets a lot of
monster.
rebounds. But like
Walker
regardless,
Kessler's a rebounding monster.
but you can't fault Jokic for these people being out. The
No, true,
fact of the
true,
matter
true.
is he's first in rebounds, first in assists, right?
Right,
And also another thing, before 2026 started, so going into
right,
2026, the first 10 weeks of this regular season, right?
right,
Jokic firmly had a hold on the MVP. Firmly. He was
right,
number one every single week of the MVP
right.
ladder. It wasn't even a debate, really, at that point.
Uh-huh.
Like it was Jokic's MVP to lose. Then he goes down. Now I understand that matters a lot, but I think,
Right.
and I understand that MVP is like a very narrative driven award. So like
Yeah.
that second half of the season matters more. But I do think we need to
Uh-huh.
remember that just not that long ago, just a couple months ago, Jokic was by far the favorites when MVP. And
Correct.
recent, and not like a month ago, Shea was by far the favorite to win MVP. So how
Right.
is it that we're flopping like so hard that now Jokic has the same odds as like Jaylen Brown, who having a great season, right? And
Right.
Wemby is catching Shea. I just don't think it makes sense that you can change the narrative that much when not all that much has happened.
Hmm. Well, here's the thing. I think with the Wemby thing is just we did not think he was going to stay healthy. And as we're nearing the season, as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the season, it's becoming more and more likely that Wemby is hitting that 65 game mark,
Hmm.
right? I think for Wemby, that has really been the issue this entire time is can he get to 65 games, right? And I think that this season he will. He can miss, I think he can miss one more game, I believe.
Hmm.
Is that no. They played how many games can he miss? He's at 62 games. He's at
I
61
think he
games
missed
played.
like two
He
more,
needs to
right?
play four more games. I think he can miss
Yeah.
two more
Hmm.
after missing tonight. But yeah, like point is like, okay, here's why I'm a Wemby guy. Okay, I'll answer my three questions. Who do I want to win? I want Wemby to win. Oh, wait. Who do I want to win? Who do I want to win? Oh, so that's I want Jason Tatum to win.
Well, he can't win.
But
He's
like
not
among
65.
among the four,
Yeah.
among people eligible,
Yeah.
let's see, who has played 65 games? Who's played 65 games?
Well, just among the four. Just what,
Okay,
those are the only four
among the four,
realistic.
I want Wemby to win, and it's pretty
Yeah.
simple. I hate Luka. I don't know. I hate the strong word. No, but it very accurately describes my relationship with Luka. I hate Shea. I hate Luka, and I'm tired of Jokic. You know, like at a certain point, voter fatigue does kick in, and if I'm a voter, I'm tired of Jokic. I'm voting for Wemby. Who do I think will win? Here's the thing. I have not given up on Spurs catching Thunder for the first seed. And I think
Which
if
is
that
possible,
happens,
yeah.
if that happens, Wemby is the best player on the best team, took a massive jump. The main reason why the Spurs are so good, obviously they have Fox this year, but like the main reason is just Wemby's healthy. Wemby's taken quite the offensive leap actually. Actually, like you compare him to last year, he's quite a bit better.
Yeah, he is.
He's having one of the best defensive seasons ever.
Like
The reason why they will be if they have, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting how to talk. If they finish with the best record in the league, it will be because of Victor Wembanyama. So that's why I think he should win MVP, because I'm projecting that this will happen. Who will win MVP? Tripling down, Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is winning MVP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already kind of shared my thoughts on Jokic and Shea. I didn't talk very much about Wemby and Luka, mainly because I don't have them really that much in
here's
common.
the thing. Here's the thing. Wemby and Luka is kind of a forced debate. It's just the thing with the forced debate is that I can see the Wemby debate materializing and making sense much better than Luka's. Because Luka
No,
really
I
is
actually think Luka's argument and the reason why it's gaining popularity makes a lot of sense. The Lakers have been hot. The Lakers have been winning a ton of games, and Luka's averaging 40 in the last month. So
right.
I do see the argument.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, I will say I think a little bit differently than I'd say the voters think. And when I think about MVP, unlike the voters, I do remember that the basketball is played on both offense and defense.
But a lot of people know.
And when you remember that, Luka is one of the 3 worst defenders in the league. Obviously, actually, in March, he's been defending pretty well. Ever since he lost his daughters, he's been actually a pretty good defender. But like this man cannot play defense. This man is a cone.
Right,
but as I've said before, he's not a traffic cone. He's the little ones you have in PE, elementary school PE, the colorful ones.
Okay, but if you're gonna say that, then is he just never gonna win an MVP in your books? Because I doubt he's ever gonna become a good. You can't hope. I think of a player of Luka's caliber, he will get an MVP, and he should get an MVP.
Realizes that it cannot be rewarding this type of offensive only play. You need to be promoting two-way basketball.
No. You have Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. I think, yes, defense matters, but I do think MVP, you should care a little bit more about offense. Right? Especially because I don't want to say like.
No, actually, I will say. Be rewarded. You look at the players that have been winning. No, listen. You look at the players that have been winning Defensive Player of the Year. When is the last time a true two-way player has won Defensive Player of the Year? You look at the last few Defensive Player of the Years. These guys can't play offense. Evan Mobley can't make a shot to save his life.
Right. But this is exactly the point I want to make. I think with defense, right, especially in the modern NBA, it has become a little more of a team oriented, and that's just how the way basketball is played now, right? It's more heavy on a team. You can't really build a defense around one person. You can with Wemby, you can with Gobert, like some of these like anchors on defense, but it isn't as heavy as it was in the past. Also, I want to say that the best defenders, if you look at a list, you go down top 20, top 30 defenders, however you're going to list it, a lot of these are going to be role players, right? And that's not to take away from the great defenders, but that's just who they are. When we're talking about stars, they're almost always stars because they average at least 20 points per game.
Yes, and that is the problem.
We have exceptions.
That's the problem.
We have exceptions like Draymond Green, like Rudy Gobert.
What are we talking about? Draymond Green.
Not anymore. Draymond Green not really a star anymore. But like what I'm saying, like Draymond Green, like Rudy Gobert, right? These have been like stars, all stars because of defense. They're not going to average 20 points per game. And they're going to be voted all-stars. Right. But I see that you want them to care about defense a little more. And I understand where you're coming from. And maybe they should care about defense a little bit more. But this is just historically how it's always been. Like, you're a star because you can score. And I think with basketball, right, we always talk about, like, actually, we don't always talk about, but, like, when I'm thinking about just, like, my experience of playing basketball as well, right, the best players are the ones who can score for themselves. Because defense, it's like, I don't want to say it's less of a skill. That's not true. But everyone plays defense. And what's the point? Like, yeah, everyone has to play defense, right? I don't think individually and matters as much versus if you can literally give me 40. Because there aren't that many players that can give you 40 on a nightly basis. So I do think that's why offense, especially scoring and playmaking, right? And that that is um I don't know, like cared for more. That's why it is. I think that's my explanation as to why it's cared for more, and I think it makes sense.
No, okay, sure, sure. I
Yeah,
agree. I agree that's why it's cared for more, but I think
yeah,
that's wrong. I think it's wrong. You look historically, the best players of all time are all good defenders.
yes,
Name who
yes.
is the
Team play.
best player all
Yeah,
time who is a terrible defender? Who is the best cone ever? It's Steph Curry.
Curry, Harden, Nash. Yeah, mainly
Nash and Harden.
guards.
Nash and Harden are not up there though. They're
Right. I
not
mean,
none,
yeah,
neither
no,
of
no.
those are
If you
top
want,
20
this is
players.
different though. MVP is different from being like a top 10 player of all time.
No. But this is what we're building towards, though. You give people these MVPs. You give Shea a second MVP. You give Jokic a second MVP or a fourth. Wait, this would be his fifth. Is this his
No,
fifth or
fourth.
fourth?
This would be his fourth. This would be
Fourth.
his.
You give him his fourth. This is what you're. This is what you're pushing him towards.
Well, yeah. So when you voting, you have that in mind. Like, can I give Jokic a fourth MVP? What would that mean? Who has four MVPs? I understand that, but when it's your first, usually that's not what I have in mind. Actually, in fact, if I want to talk about Wemby, one of the reasons why I won't vote for him is because I do think Wemby will win MVP in the future, at least one or two more, right?
Okay.
And I don't want to like that, like sure, maybe something bad happens, he gets injured, his career ends, and you know he gets robbed of winning MVP. But that's unlikely. I'm not gonna like bet on and pray on man's downfall. I do think this guy is he's gonna be historically great. He has potential to be the GOAT, right? He's gonna win MVPs down the line. If we give him an MVP now, I also think that's gonna take away from his MVPs in the future. Because maybe he's like at a point where he's like Jokic, right? Because
Uh-huh.
honestly, I feel like should Jokic have won MVP in 2021? At the moment, he should have. But if I'm looking now, I'd rather give him the MVP in 2023 or like in 2025 than in 2021. He was just better, right? So it's just like if we're giving Wemby the MVP now, further down the line, he wants to win his fourth or fifth MVP. And he had an all-time great season. But no, he can't because like he used up one of his MVPs. Because like we're saying, we do have a limit with MVPs you can get. There's voter fatigue and stuff. I think it would be a waste to give it Wemby the vote now. It would make more sense for Shea and Jokic, who are in their primes, who are also I think, are having better seasons. I also think Wemby, his narrative of being MVP was just propelled in the last few weeks, mainly because he said something off court in a post game conference, was like post game press conference when some reporter just asked him, like, "What's your case for MVP?" And Wemby cares, and he should care. And he gave his points, which is like you say, like, okay, he thinks he's a great defender. He thinks the Spurs are like really great this season, exceeded expectations because of him. Oh, solid points, but like before he talked, right? Before he talked, he wasn't in that like top of the conversation. Then all of a sudden, he says some words, and the narrative completely switches. And now it's like, oh, Wemby might win MVP. I don't know. You know?
I see. Here's the thing, though. I think it was more of a thing that people weren't paying enough attention. I think he was underrated, and now he's correctly rated. I think, yeah, this. I think you're trying to, in a sneaky way, say that Wemby is overrated right now, and I just cannot agree with that.
I actually do think he's over. I think he's been overrated his entire career. He has made many improvements as an offensive player. In fact, like this season, he hasn't been playing that many minutes. So you look at his numbers and they don't look that great. But if you give him more minutes, like his numbers are pretty great, right?
Yeah.
But you look at the way he scores. Like there clearly is a huge gap on offense, just as there is on defense. There's a huge gap. But he's gonna win his defensive player of the year. We're gonna give him defensive player of the year and MVP. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Who's done that? Giannis did that. Giannis averaged 30 and like six assists.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, he's not that level of offensive player yet. that he can win both offense and
Hmm.
defensive player of the year.
How many players have done that? Giannis,
Jordan,
Jordan, is that it?
uh, no, I'm sure there's more. Oh, Hakeem, because he won two defensive player
Hakeem?
of the year, and one of them was MVP.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right. 1994.
Hmm. Yeah,
Is that it's only three of them?
there probably is more. I mean, those are the ones that come to mind.
I don't think there is.
Yeah, so like, is Wemby this 2026 Wemby? Is that no? I don't think so. All of them were elite scorers, and Wemby is like he's a decent scorer,
Right.
but 24 points per game in 2026.
Hmm.
That's not
I
all
think
that
you've
impressive.
convinced me. The thing is, I do not want to give it to Jokic, Shea, or Luka. I just
And
can't. I cannot do it.
and I'll speak to Luca a little bit for a bit as well. Like Luca, I see the argument. Same thing. I see the argument with Wemby. I understand why a lot of people want him to win it, right? He's just exciting player, but I think he will win one eventually. I think Luca will also probably win one. But like this is one of Luca's best
I
chances.
hope not. I really hope not. Man, if like Luka winning MVP would be so bad for
Yeah,
basketball. So bad for the league.
yeah. And I think once again I understand why people want Luca to win MVP. But here's my thing: if Harden did not win MVP in 2019, Luka should not win MVP this year. I wanted
Hmm.
Harden to be MVP in 2019. And by the way, that was just
Hmm.
like Harden Giannis. This is a four-man race. That was a two-man race, right?
Hmm.
Harden, similar situation as Luka, third
I mean,
seed.
here's the thing with Luka though. I don't even think he's fourth place. I would rather give it to Jalen Brown
You're right.
than
Like Jalen
Luka.
Brown should be in the conversation. Well, actually, I think Lucas probably should be ahead. But like it's close. I do agree it's close. But like we talk about James Harden, and Josh says I always talk about James Harden, and that's kind of true. But I think it's very fitting in this situation that we talk about James Harden because James Harden and Luka are pretty similar players, right?
Uh-huh.
James Harden in 2019, he averaged 36 points per game. Luka's averaging 34 this season. They're both third seeds. Difference
Hmm.
is this season there are like four other players averaging 30 points per game. Luka isn't that much ahead, right? Shea's averaging like nearly 32.
Right.
Harden that season when he averaged 36 points a game, second place was Paul George, 29. That's a 7 points per game difference,
Right.
right? So if we're gonna about historic scoring and carrying a team on his back into wins, like Luka's
Hmm.
doing it great this season. It's not unprecedented, right? Harden did it, and Harden did it better, and Harden did not win MVP. So I
Hmm.
think that alone, just like Luka can't win MVP. And this wasn't that long ago.
Hmm.
This is literally 5 years ago, not 5 or
Yeah.
6 years ago. I think that
Yeah.
alone just says like Luka cannot win MVP. He's having a great season, but he just can't. Harden didn't win MVP.
At this point, just give it to Bam Adebayo. Dropped 83. Good job. You're the MVP.
Mhm.
Man, the league
I
has no
won't
good
be mad
stars
if Shea
anymore.
wins. I actually won't be mad if Shea
I
wins.
I will be I will be a little bit mad.
Because at this
Man,
point,
what
I've
happened to
come
all
to
the
accept
leagues?
his greatness.
Yeah. So I think that the thing really is just like I might be getting a little bit of international star fatigue. You know?
Wemby is French. What?
Yeah. And I'm just like Wemby. Wemby is to me is the lesser of four evils. Especially because the thing I hate most about international stars is like their lack of care for the game.
Wait,
There's this narrative going around where people say, "Oh, international stars just care more about the game." Could not be more false. Could not be more false. Oh, they just care more. They play the game the right way. No, they do not. They play the game in the worst way possible. Actually, we talk about why the league is so soft now. The number of Europeans in the league right now is definitely a huge reason why the league is so soft. Like, like at a certain point, trigger warning, but go back to where you came from. Like, just go back to the EuroLeague. We
whoa.
don't like, okay, I don't want to speak for the rest of NBA fans, but I don't like you. Just please go back. I don't really want you here.
Uh, yeah, we're talking about like international and their countries. I do think between France, Slovenia, Serbia, and in Canada,
Uh huh.
I don't know. France, not a very popular place, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, Wemby cares. Like, I do
Uh,
think that Wemby does play the game correctly. Like,
mm,
Wemby brings things to the game that I think are healthy for the NBA. The NBA
yes,
needs. Meanwhile,
100%. Yeah.
Jokic and Luka, like you point to the problem. The problems are right there. Like you point at those two guys, that covers up like 60% of the NBA's
Well,
problems.
like All-Star
Those two
game,
guys
yes.
right there.
Yeah, yeah,
They
like All.
embody what is wrong with the NBA.
Well, no, 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 not wrong with the NBA. All-Star game, yes.
No, no, it's the NBA as well.
Jokic,
Players not playing defense, players not
Jokic,
playing defense, that is the pinnacle of
Jokic
that.
can't jump. That's kind of it.
That's yeah. It's like what happened to athleticism? What happened to being an athlete?
He's an athlete. His hand-eye coordination,
That's not an athlete. Come on now. This is like
his
saying
back.
chess is an athlete.
No, this is like baseball as an athlete.
No, no. This is no. This is more like archery. Yeah, archery.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
flag.
let's be serious. Nobody's okay. I don't want to speak for everyone. Let's be serious. I'm not taking archers as serious athletes.
Okay.
Maybe like those sharpshooter rifles, I'll take them a little bit more seriously because they have a gun in their hands. And I have like I know I'm not dodging a bullet, but like an arrow, maybe it's possible.
Wait, they actually might be more accurate with the arrows. Like if they're holding like a handgun, that's actually kind of hard to aim. I guess arrows kind of hard to aim as well.
An Olympic athlete, an Olympic sharpshooter is not having a problem shooting you down with a pistol.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Back to basketball. Back to basketball. Oh, and let's not even get me started on Shea. Shea brings other problems to basketball. Like honestly, each of these three MVP candidates, right? They actually just like they are these three guys each represent just a thing that's wrong with basketball. Jokic being fat and unathletic. Shea with being the foul baiting. Luka with not playing defense. Like all of these guys have like serious things that I just think are like terrible for the game. Wemby doesn't have that. And I think that's just the reason why. Like I think Wemby deserves MVP. Like at a certain point, you gotta give out the reward to like award good behavior.
Well,
In fact,
if what you say is
Adam
true,
Silver,
if what you say is true about Wemby, which I do agree, I think it is true. Like Wemby has a great attitude, great mentality for the game, great passion for the
yeah,
game. I
this
100% agree.
this year's All Star game
He
was the
will
best
get
All Star
better.
game in years
He will
because
get
of
better.
Wemby.
He's gotten better every year. He will get a lot better. His MVP will come.
Okay, no, that's not even the problem anymore. The problem has never been getting Wemby as MVPs. It's been keeping MVPs from the other three guys. Let's make it clear whether or not the MVP goes to Wemby. I'm not actually that concerned with. I'm more concerned with keeping Luka from getting an MVP, keeping Shea from becoming a two-time MVP winner, keeping Jokic from getting a fourth MVP. My stance on Wemby is that he is the lesser of four evils.
Well, I can't really say much about that. I mean, if I had to rank, I'd say Jokic, Shea, and that's like really, really close. And then
Uh,
Wemby, Luka.
mhm.
And I think
I
Wemby,
mean,
Luka is also very, very
in
close.
terms of like actual MVP, yeah. I would agree with that. Like
And
all
I'd say,
personal biases aside.
yeah. And I think Jokic and Shea, like that order, I don't care all that much. Like obviously as a Jokic and Nuggets fan, I would want Jokic to win. I don't like Shea. I think most people don't really like his behavior, but I mean he has proven that like he's in the conversation for best in the world, right? Especially when Jokic has his wrist problems. Um, yeah. And then Wemby, I don't hate Wemby. I think it might appear that way because I do think he's overrated. I just think the expectation is so high, and I don't think he's reached that. He definitely, I don't think he's definitely met expectations. He exceeded expectations, but he hasn't met the hype, I think. from
Mm.
social media and fans. And then Luka, same thing. Like it's Lakers fans. He plays for Los Angeles Lakers. He scores a lot of points. Understandable. I also don't think he's there. 'Cause I think Wemby and Luka very close. Shea and Jokic very close. And Shea's probably gonna win it. I won't be too like I don't think I would care all that much. I think yeah, I mean Shea having two MVPs. If he wins a third, like I'm gonna have an issue if he wins a third. Unless like he really ups his game. But like
Uh-huh.
two, I don't think it's all that bad. Right? Nash won back-to-back MVPs. Earlier we talked about how great Nash is.
Oh,
Shea is
interesting.
better.
So Luka's injured, right?
Yeah.
What if he's out for the rest of the season, like regular season?
Yeah, then
That
I
would be
don't think
interesting.
he's
He's at
eligible.
63, or I think after tonight, 64.
He is
Well,
one
if he's
more.
out for the rest of this regular season, that would be very interesting. What was the
Right.
injury? I didn't see the game.
He just has a non-contact injury. I'm not too sure
Oh,
what exactly it was.
non-contact injury could be bad.
Yeah, I mean, he usually does it worse.
Wait, let me look it up.
But it didn't seem that bad. He was able to like walk off
Oh, hamstring,
his hamstring.
left hamstring. That's among lesser injuries. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, because he could be lingering. Yeah, if he
Yeah.
doesn't come back fully healthy.
Hey, Lakers, hear me out. Hold this guy out for the rest of the season. It will be much appreciated by me.
Yeah, I mean, he's
All
not.
right.
I don't think he's a legitimate threat to win. The voters are not going to
Yeah,
vote him.
I don't think he is either.
No.
Thunder, Nuggets. If you want to hold Jokic, and if you want to hold Jokic and Shea out, here's the thing though. We do that like Spurs, please. Like I don't remember who the Spurs GM is right now. Whoever it is, listen to me, okay? Please do not hold out Wemby. I understand, he's not my favorite MVP candidate right now, but please, we cannot have Rudy Gobert win a fifth defensive player of the year. I cannot live in a world where Chet Holmgren is the defensive player of the year. I cannot live in a world where we have who even is the other defensive player of the year candidates? I don't even know. Amen Thompson, please,
Jason
Wemby,
Wallace.
please, Wemby, play your games. We cannot have Lou Dort winning defensive player of the years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now on to our next segment. Are we ready for our next segment?
Well, actually, one more thing.
Okay.
I don't know the Spurs, Thunder, and Lakers schedule all that well, but I do know the
Oh,
Nuggets
the
remaining
Thunder have
games.
a pretty hard schedule, but part of the hard schedule was supposed to be tonight against the Lakers, and they
Yeah,
just absolutely kicked their butt.
yeah. But I want to say the Nuggets. I know the Nuggets schedule. Play the Spurs twice and the
Right.
Thunder once. Within the last 5 games of the Nuggets season, 3 of them are against Spurs Thunder. Not
Uh-huh.
only does that matter a lot for like seeding, which we're about to get into, but this
Yeah.
does matter quite a bit for
For
the
the
MVP
MVP
narrative,
race. Yeah.
right? Right. If Jokic is able to outplay Wemby in those 2 games and Shea in that 1 game, well, then he might be back in the conversation. Unfortunately, I don't think Jokic, for some reason, has been thrust out of the conversation and like he's in the same like sphere as like Jaylen Brown, And once again,
Mm.
no disrespect to Jaylen Brown, but like I don't know what's going on here.
Actually, I want to ask you a question. Do you think the NBA MVP is more of a narrative award or a statistical award?
Oh, what's narrative or what?
Statistical. So
Yeah.
narrative would be like what's it, uh football. Football is like just a huge narrative award,
Hmm.
right? Like like Josh Allen winning MVP last year, Matthew Stafford winning MVP this year, Lamar Jackson winning 2 years ago, right? Actually,
Hmm.
Lamar Jackson winning 2 years ago is also statistical. Actually, now that I think about it, NBA might be the most narrative, but
Yeah,
then
NBA
like
is the most narrative.
statistical is like MLB. MLB, they look at stats. Like voter,
Hmm.
they don't care. They type baseballreference.com and they look at who has the highest WAR, and that's what they vote for.
Yeah, I think NBA is more narrative. In fact, I want to say NBA is more than NFL. Because the NFL, you also have
Yeah,
like the narrative flipping, narrative switching throughout the season, but
yeah,
nothing as egregious as the NBA. Like I was saying
right.
earlier, how do you go from Jokic being like firmly number one, then Shea
Well, he
being
also got
firmly number
injured.
one? Yeah, they both got injured. I understand, but like,
No, but like Jokic injury definitely was more serious and
right, and Jokic when
hampered
he
his
first came
chances.
back, he wasn't great as well. But like, this isn't a this season only thing. This is every season. It flips. If you just look at the MVP ladder, if you just look at the even if players are healthy, it just completely flips. The Joel
Well,
Embiid
that's because
Jokic
the
year.
MVP ladder exists. And I
Jokic
just think
was
that's not something that should really exist, you know? Like in other sports, like if you had an MVP ladder in hockey, they would be flipping it a lot too because they want people to look at it. This stays the same every week. No one's looking at
right,
it,
and
right?
that's
Like
part of the problem.
realistically in hockey, it's changed one time.
Yeah.
The beginning stretch, it was McKinnon, now it's David.
Yeah, and that's probably the problem I have with the NBA nowadays. It's become such a clickbait league. It's become
Uh-huh.
how do we go on his social media? How do we go on Instagram, on Twitter, get likes, get people to watch highlights, right? And this is
Okay, but
I think
here's
this
the
is
thing though. Here's the
terrible for
thing.
the NBA.
In the end, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, that is really just social media interns. Like
No,
the
but
voters, I think, will still take it seriously, and the MVP will end in the right hands.
right, but they also play on these narratives, and the fans especially are just completely just like, let me see like Instagram, let me see Twitter, what's up, right? With NBA especially, like you have like sports Twitter is big in general, right, and sports Instagram, but like with the NBA, it's like bigger than ever. So I do think it's very much narrative driven. I wish it was less narrative driven. And like when we say
Mhm.
statistical, we don't just mean like box score, right? Like we're not just talking about points, rebounds, assists, and like shooting percentages,
Right.
right?
No, we're not.
We mean
We're
just like
talking about
more
like
like
advanced stats and stuff.
yeah, advanced stats. Which by
Wins
the way, if we're
above a
going off
buzzer.
advanced stats, like Jokic will win every year.
Sure.
But I mean, and that's a reflection of like Jokic being the best player in the world, right? But that's not necessarily what MVP means. MVP is not best player in the world.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, I do think it's more narrative driven. I do think
Mhm.
it's more narrative driven. Yeah, and that's why you have all these flipping.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the next topic. What's our next topic?
Um, the season standings and the seeding race.
Right. Okay. Season standings and seeding race. So I think the most important one we gotta talk about. Actually, there's two, because I think one is undercovered, like not covered enough. The first one is Spurs and Thunder fight for the one
Hmm.
seed. So
Right.
I'm gonna take. I'm actually. Let's take a look at the
Yeah, I
Spurs
pulled up the
schedule.
standings as well just now.
Okay, yeah. Let's go to the standings and take a look at their schedules. So right now, the Spurs. Oh, okay. What? Okay, so the Spurs are 2 games back, right?
Hmm.
The Thunder. The Thunder remaining games. They play the Jazz.
Hmm.
Should be a light win, like
Yeah.
realistically,
Yeah.
right? Uh, Lakers,
Hmm.
Clippers,
Hmm.
Nuggets, and
Hmm.
they end the season against the Suns.
Hmm.
So outside the Jazz, none of those are easy wins, right? Now I'll
Hmm.
say like they probably will beat the Suns, right?
Hmm.
And they'll probably beat the Clippers.
Hmm.
But like those aren't going to be easy wins. Now we look at the Spurs. The
Well,
Spurs,
the Spurs would need the Thunder to lose at least 2 games, and they would need to win
right?
out.
And I would say it'd probably be the next, depending on if Luca's back, the next Laker game, and then the next Nuggets game, right?
Yeah.
And then they have tiebreaker over Thunder, so
Mhm.
that would give them the one seed. Their remaining games, they have Nuggets, they have Sixers, they have Blazers, Mavs, and then Nuggets again. So they kind of have to win out, right? If they
Mhm.
want the one seed. So it's going to be beating the Nuggets twice. So I think like I really hope the Spurs, I really hope the Spurs do it,
It's
but it's
unlikely.
not looking too good. Like I think uh I was really like for that to have happened, the Thunder needed to have lost today. Like the Spurs kind of needed that.
Yeah. I think
Now,
if
another underrated.
yeah. Well, if we just look at that kind of those two schedules, I'd say it's
Yeah,
pretty solid that Thunder have like a 90%, if maybe even higher
yeah,
percent of being the first seed.
right, right.
Hmm. So the one and two in the West is
Okay,
pretty much locked in place.
yeah.
Are we just gonna go down in the West?
Well, no, I was actually going to move to 1 and 2 in the East, but
Okay,
I'm
one and
looking
two
at the
of these.
schedules.
Well, the Pistons pretty
They
much have
might
first
both
place
go
locked up.
undefeated, huh?
The Pistons basically have the first seed locked up.
Well, they're 4.5 games. They're 4.5 games. Well, okay, before tonight it was only four, but now it's 4.5 games in the lead of the Celtics.
Hmm.
The main thing that I was going to talk about is just they don't have Cade, right?
Yeah,
So it's very possible that this slips away from them.
four
But
and a
now that
half
I'm looking
games
at the
though.
schedule,
No,
I don't think they will.
they would
With
basically have to lose every game, and the Celtics
Yeah,
basically
with
have to win
six
every
games
game.
remaining, you have four and
Mm.
a half games lead. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They do have it locked up.
yeah. I think the 1-2 in both the East and West has basically set.
I don't know, the 2 games. 2 games is really like I think 90%. You're giving the Thunder a little bit too much, I think it maybe 80%.
Mm. Both teams are hot. Both teams are hot.
Hmm. Yeah.
The Spurs on an 11 game win streak, and the
All right,
Thunder
let's
are
talk
9-1.
about the next, say three to six, would you say is a cluster?
Yes, 3-6 in the West is definitely a race. Um,
Although
eh,
I do think the Wolves have fallen out of that race,
the three to
especially
six
if
in the
Ant is
West,
going to continue to be
yeah,
injured. So
yeah.
I think the Wolves will be the 6th seed.
Well, and played today, right? Just on a minute restriction.
No, he did not play. Neither did
Oh,
Jaden McDaniels.
oh, but he was questionable. He'll be back.
Hmm, maybe.
Hmm.
All right. So
Yeah,
what are the implications of the Luka injury on the standings?
yeah. So for 3-6 in the West, I mean, this doesn't matter all that much for first round, other than these four teams are definitely going to play each other. Like it's going to be
Well,
a
no,
combination of
four
these.
plays five, right?
Yeah,
Four
four is
plays
going to play
five.
five. Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying like it's going to be like Lakers Wolves or Lakers Rockets, and then Nuggets are just going to play the other one. You know,
Right.
because I think it's really 3-4 between Nuggets and 5-6 between Rockets and Timberwolves. This doesn't matter too much for first round. I mean, maybe they have a preference. I don't know if the teams care all that much. I think it matters more for
Well,
second round.
I think the Timberwolves,
I think you'd rather
the
play the Spurs or
right,
the whatever playing team, right? We'll get to that, or then the Thunder.
right.
Yeah. So
So you'd rather I think like the Wolves are actually very happy with 6 seed.
yeah, like I actually like earlier, or like 2 weeks ago, the Nuggets before Nuggets went on the 7 game win streak were in the sixth seed, and as much as I hated it because that obviously hurts Jokic's MVP narrative, I was like, if we're just the sixth seed, that's not terrible. Play the Lakers the third seed, like win
Mhm,
that, and then you
mhm.
get like play the two seed, like that actually isn't terrible seeding wise.
Right.
But yeah, now that Luka's out and the Nuggets are hot, there is a good chance Nuggets can claim the third seed. Lakers probably four, and then Timberwolves Rockets. Like you said, Ant's kind of. I mean, I think Ant might be back next game. Like, he's just questionable every game, right? If they
Yeah.
really care that much, then he'll play. And the Rockets have been like kind of iffy, right? Ever since
Mhm.
like All-Star break, they've had their problems. They've lost some like games to bad teams, you know.
Right.
So although they're on a 4 game win streak right now, but I don't know. I think this is definitely very close. If I had to say Nuggets three, Lakers four, Rockets five, and then Timberwolves six, which would be very interesting. That would set up Nuggets Timberwolves. Which as a Nuggets fan, I'd rather not see the Timberwolves. Timberwolves are definitely a team that definitely kind of
Yeah,
haunts
I
me.
actually think the Timberwolves are on. I think the Timberwolves, like, unironically, just they're not very phased. Timberwolves are not phased. They destroyed the Lakers last year.
I
Rudy
don't.
Gobert
Yeah,
looked like Shaq, and
yeah.
then they do kind of have the Nuggets number.
I'm definitely kind of scared of the Timberwolves. The Nuggets, we've been doing very well against them in the regular season. Uh, but there's obviously the game seven in 2024. Um,
Yeah,
and that series just in general. And then the Timberwolves have made back-to-back conference finals. I think people
Yeah.
like you gotta they've made back-to-back conference finals.
Yeah, and Ant shows up to the playoffs.
Hmm.
Like there are people on the Rockets where sometimes I question when they do will they show up to the playoffs? Ant will be there.
Right. So if we're
Anthony
just talking
Edwards will
about
be there.
first round matchup as a Nuggets fan, I'd rather play the Rockets because the
Right.
Lakers
So for sure. Oh, for sure.
normally the Nuggets have the Lakers number with Luca now. It's actually hasn't been great. Like we don't have anyone that can really guard Luca that
Well,
well.
yeah, because the number you guys really had was you guys had Anthony Davis number.
Yeah, and because Jokic would destroy AD, and then LeBron would kind of get neutralized. But now it's
Yeah.
Luca and Austin Reeves, very guard heavy, and we don't have the best
Mhm.
guard defenders. I guess
Yeah.
also because Peyton Watson was out for a while, but yeah, and Christian Brown was also out for a while. But yeah,
All
like
right.
Jamal Murray is not gonna fry Luca. He might fry Luca, but like Luca is gonna fry him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that one, I don't think there's too much to say. Like, we'll just see what happens. I mean, we just know that the four teams they're gonna play each other in the first round.
hmm
That'll be interesting to see. Um,
hmm
yeah, but if it's Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Lakers Rockets, those are interesting series. Like, both those series can go either way. I think.
hmm
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. Those are tough series. They could both go to seven. I could see them both going to seven.
Yeah.
All right. Do we go down, stick with West, or you want to hop back to East?
Let's stick with West.
Okay. Yeah, we go down to West. Suns, seventh seed, locked up basically. Um,
Right.
Trailblazers have been kind of hot. I don't think they catch the Suns. And then Clippers, Warriors basically set at 10, right? Curry's gonna
Right.
come back on Sunday, which is their next game, I believe, against the Rockets. But I actually be going that game. So,
Okay.
but
Well, let's see. So Blazers actually only have 4 games left.
hmm
Nuggets, Spurs, Clippers, Kings.
yeah,
That
that's tough.
that Clippers game is going to be huge.
Yeah. And they play the Spurs and
Fighting for the
Nuggets.
eighth seed.
They play the Spurs and
Yeah.
Nuggets as well. That's tough.
Let's take a look at the Clippers because I know the Clippers also play someone. Clippers will play the Kings. That's a win right there. Mavs win right there. But they also have to play the Thunder. So yeah, that Clippers Blazers game right there, that might be the decider. And then
Hmm.
they close it out with the Warriors. So I guess if the Warriors come back with Steph, they go undefeated. That game could also end up being important. We'll see.
They're probably not though.
Probably not.
They have not the easiest schedule. They play the Clippers
And they also kind of just suck.
and the Rockets. Oh, well, with
They're
Steph, you
also
never know.
they're also just not very good. No. With Steph, sometimes in the end you do know. You do know. Steph's gonna go crazy. They're gonna still lose. Has Steph played a game with KP yet?
No, he's been out for
Yeah.
2 months, 3 months maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah. So it'll be Suns, and then between Blazers and Clippers, which I think it's definitely huge. Like the Clippers have to win against the Blazers. Not have to win. I think the Clippers have to be a eighth seed because I mean I'd rather see the Clippers in the playoffs than the Blazers just because I think they're better, and I want to see the better team in the playoffs. Um, so I want the Clippers to get the eighth seed, right? Just so they could maybe beat the Suns. But if they lose to the Suns, they can still make it to the playoffs. Um,
Mhm.
I think between these four playing teams, Blazers are definitely the least I want to see in the playoffs, just because they definitely are going to lose. Whereas
The
the Clippers and
Blazers.
Warriors and Suns,
You're putting way too much faith in a Warriors team that is nothing.
no, the
The War,
Warriors,
the
Clippers,
dude,
and Suns
I would
all
much rather
have
see the
a
Blazers in the
superstar.
playoffs.
They
I
all
would
have a
much.
superstar. Stars matter in the playoffs.
I don't think it does. No. You have way too much faith. No. See, there's this misconception about how much stars matter. They don't matter that much. They matter
Boy,
when you have a good team. When's the last time a star carried a trash team to a playoff run? Name it.
2018
You
LeBron.
can't. You can't.
What do you
That
feel
team was not
LeBron?
trash. He had Kevin Love.
No,
Who
that
is
team was not
who
good.
is
That team was not good.
he had Kevin Love.
Yeah, he had
And
Kevin
you
Love,
were also
who was
playing
old and
in the
washed and
Eastern
injured.
Conference.
Yeah.
The next best team was rookie Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
This is the West with you will be playing the Thunder first round.
I'm not saying any of these playing teams are going to win the championship. I'm not even saying they're going to win a first round
Like you look
matchup.
at it, like this is
But
what
I
people
do
were
think
talking about.
they
This
can
is
win a
no,
game.
stop it.
They
No,
can
this
win
is
a
why
playoff
people
game.
were picking the Bucks to beat the Pacers last year. They have Giannis, they have the superstar. You never know in the NBA. You have the superstar, you can win. No, we kicked their butts.
Right. Yeah. Dude, I'll literally tell you. The Clippers, Warriors, and Suns have the potential to win a playoff game. Maybe even two. The Blazers do not.
No. The Warriors do not have potential to win a playoff game. They are not winning a game against the Spurs or the Thunder.
I think
Curry is getting locked up. They're quadruple teaming Curry. Nobody else on the team can hit a shot.
I don't know, man. Brandon Podziemski has been playing pretty good basketball
against the Jazz. Against the Jazz.
No, just in general.
Okay. Oh no, he's going off against the Jazz. He's going off against the Nets. Oh no.
Once again, I'm not saying they're going to win a playoff series.
You're looking at Brandon
think they'll be entertaining to watch.
This team has nothing.
Do you not want to see Steph Curry?
I don't care. Like, to me, Deni Avdija in the playoffs and Steph Curry in the playoffs at this moment in time mean the same to me. At least Deni is healthy. At least I know Deni will play. Would I rather watch a team where Brandon Podziemski is the second best player or Drew Holiday? Clearly Drew Holiday. Not to mention, okay? Not to mention, if the Blazers, by some miracle, do go on a run, there is a world where Dame does come back. Jimmy is not coming back. Yeah, reminder, Dame tore his Achilles before Tatum did.
Yes, and he's 10 years older. Steph is must-see TV.
You're overrating Steph. Like I understand what you're talking about, but at this point in his career, this is not 2021 anymore. And Steph is must-see TV when he has Clay with him. Clay is not here anymore.
Oh my. Oh my, no.
You're relying.
You're really telling me you'd rather see the Blazers in the playoffs
Keith Santos is going to be a playoff starter. Please be serious with me now.
You'd rather see the Blazers than the Warriors in the playoffs.
Yes, I'd rather see a team where Shaedon Sharpe is your starting two guard instead of Brandon Podziemski. I'd rather have Deni Avdija as your starting small forward than Keith Santos.
Deni Avdija is overrated. I mean, he's all right.
He's so much better than Keith Santos, though.
Yeah,
Keith Santos should be in Brazil playing soccer right now.
Okay, all right. Okay, we can move to the East. In the East, I mean, 3-4 is a bit of a race between Knicks and Cavs. They're one game apart.
Cavs are taking that.
All right, and then
let's just look at the schedule. Cavs play the Pacers tomorrow, and they play the Grizzlies, Hawks, Wizards. It's like the Hawks. They're just better than Hawks. And then 3 tanking teams. There's no competition for the Cavs.
Wait. The Hawks have been really hot in the last.
But I can see. The point is, I can see the Cavs going 5-0. Knicks play Bulls, Hawks, Celtics, Raptors, Hornets. Celtics, Raptors, Hornets, I would say all 3 of those teams are better than the Hawks.
Better than the Knicks?
No, Hawks. Better than the Hawks.
Oh.
And they do play the Hawks as well. So the
Hawks are very, very hot right
now. Okay.
They've been beating good teams.
Okay, but first of all, both of them play the Hawks. And would you rather play the Hawks twice or the Hawks and the Celtics? I would rather play the Hawks twice.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, sure. The Cavs can take it from the Knicks.
Outside of those 2 games, the Cavs play 3 tanking teams. The only tanking team the Knicks play are the Bulls. And then they have to play the Raptors and Hornets, which, they're not like fantastic teams, but they're definitely much better than the Pacers and the Grizzlies.
hmm I think, yeah, sure. Knicks and Cavs, I don't really. I think, yeah, that can go either way. Sure, if you think the Cavs are going to take the third seed, that's
I would
cool.
like if I had gun to my head, I'm picking Cavs.
I don't. Yeah, sure. I'm not going to dispute that very much because I don't think either team cares all that much. It doesn't mean all that much for them. They don't really have MVP candidates, and they're going to have home court advantage anyways. And
Hmm.
between the Pistons and Celtics, I mean, I think you rather play the Pistons, but that's probably not something that's on their mind either. So
Right.
yeah. Okay, but I think what's more interesting is 5 to 10, right? For the last month, the East playoff race from 5 to 10 has been like super tight. Recently, I think the Magic and Heat have kind of fallen out because they've just been losing a lot. But
Right.
actually, no, not
Not
really. The Magic
really.
and Heat are still very much in the heat of the race.
Yeah, they very much are.
It's
And two
it's
and
really
eight in the
between
last 10 is kind of awful.
yeah, they're both 2-8 last time. And it's really between the Hawks, Sixers, and Raptors. That's like one small cluster, and then Hornets, Magic, Heat. And this
Oh
matters
my
a lot,
goodness.
right? Because you could like be in the playoffs, or you gotta be stuck in the play-in. Like
The
this is
play-in picture
huge.
is already set though. Like, like the Heat cannot fall out of the play-in.
Yeah, no, I get that you'll at least be in the play-in, but I'm saying like being in the playoffs immediately versus playing in the play-ins to get into the playoffs, that's a big difference.
Yeah,
Especially
it
when all
is.
these teams are like kind of close and
Right.
level, right? Like you don't want to be in the play-in. Like these
Right.
are playoff games now. For them, like all of these teams moving forward, the remaining 4 or 5 games they're playing, these are playoff games. They should play like these are playoff games. In fact, I might have to tune into most of these games just to see if they're playing like playoff
Oh,
basketball.
interesting. The Hornets have a very hard schedule. So tomorrow they play the Pacers, right?
Yeah,
Obviously they'll just play a win. And then after that they play Wolves, Celtics, Pistons, Knicks. That is a tough schedule.
that is a tough schedule.
This is okay. In LaMelo we trust. Raptors. Man, I could not. There's no team I believe in less than the Raptors. Like the Raptors are just there. Like they are there so that I can pick them to lose the first round. That is the reason they are there to give me
Wait,
an
wait, wait.
easy
But
first round
but they
choice.
could be in the play-in. They currently are projected to be in the play-in.
Right, right. Well, then it'll be a very easy choice that they lose in the play-in.
Right, like the
The
Sixers and
reason they are
Hawks.
there is that the reason they are there is that I have an easy choice. All right. So actually, let's. Okay, yeah. Well, is there anything you want to talk about?
I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, it'll be very
Actually,
interesting to see.
predict your 5 through or your 5 through 10.
Yeah, 5 through 10. I'm gonna keep the Hawks at 5. They have a 1.5 lead on six, which is Sixers, and tied
Uh-huh.
with the Raptors. The Hawks have been really
Yeah.
hot. I think they're gonna keep the 5 seed. And
Right.
maybe play New York or Cavs. And both of those, there's upset potential, right? There's upset potential. I'd still pick Knicks and Cavs, but yeah. 6 seed, I'm gonna say the Sixers. Um, Maxi's coming back, right? He's been back. Embiid's playing. I don't know. Paul George's been playing pretty good. Edgecombe, I think they'll be fine. Raptors 7. So I think 5, 6, 7. They stay where they're at. Um, and then I don't think the Hornets can really catch the Raptors because, like you said, they have a tough schedule. Um, I think Magic get the 8th seed. Hornets fall to 9. Heat stay at 10.
Okay. So I think Sixers jump Hawks. So Sixers at 5th seed. And then how far do the Hawks fall? They stay at the 6th seed. Hornets jump Raptors. Heat jump Magic. Yeah. So Sixers 5, Hawks 6, Hornets 7, Raptors 8, Heat 9, Magic 10.
So we still have Raptors, Hornets, Magic, Heat in the play, just different order.
Yeah, just different home. Yeah. And I think that Hornets run the Raptors out of the building. And then the Heat expose Paolo for the fraud he is. And then Heat Raptors, Eric Spoelstra finds a way.
Yeah, I also have the Hornets and the Heat coming out. Although, oh, wait a minute. Wait, what did I have it? I had Hornets 9, right? And Magic 8? Wait, did I have Magic 8? I have Raptor 7 and Magic 8. I think I had that.
Uh, maybe. Yeah, yeah, you
Oh,
did.
shoot. That means between the Raptors and Magic, one of them will be in the playoffs. I do not want to see that. I'd rather see the Hornets and the Heat in the playoffs.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so would I.
but right now the seeding favors the Raptors.
I guess they do. I guess it does.
They have to lose 2 games.
So I guess Paolo's in the playoffs. Oh, oh, Magic Celtics again? Man, Magic fans must hate the Celtics.
Well, not really, because they have no expectation to win. They're going to get swept,
That's oh yeah, sure, probably.
right?
Wait, do you think Kata starts or do you think Vucevic starts?
Kata,
Okay,
Vucevic 6. Yeah.
I agree.
Although
Six
it'd be
man?
interesting, Vucevic versus Magic is interesting. Oh no, just 6 men you got Pritchard.
Yeah.
But like,
Who's their starting point guard? Is it Derek White?
yeah, White, Brown, Tatum.
Brown's shooting guard. And then who's the small forward? Is it Tatum?
Oh, no, I guess this Sam Hauser starts sometime, huh?
Yeah, I guess Sam
Pritchard starts
Hauser starts
sometimes
it.
as well.
Yeah,
I mean, people because
that'll
people
be
get
interesting.
injured.
And they also have a decent bench. Hugo
Hugo
Gonzalez,
Gonzalez,
Baylor Shireman,
yeah,
and they do still have Jordan Wall.
yeah, and Vucevic. So
Yeah, it's a good team.
definitely not as good
Yeah,
as
it
they
is.
used to be, but they're good.
Yeah, not as good. Well,
Yeah, they're not as good as they used to.
but I do think that I think that Brown is better than he's ever been,
But yeah, that's true.
and I do think that matters. And then also Pritchard's also better than he's ever been. Uh, White,
Kata's been better than
I
he's
don't
ever
know.
been. Now White's been around the same.
White's been around the same. Tatum's been better than he's ever been. I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
Tatum's been better.
Definitely.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. I think it'll be very interesting to see
Mhm.
if
Oh,
for
actually,
the
we didn't pick
viewers,
our. Wait, yeah, yeah.
yeah, for the viewers, if you didn't decide to do this already, definitely tune into a lot of the final games, especially the Eastern Conference 5 to 10 seed games,
Yeah.
because those are going to be like playoff games, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, what were you saying?
Who do you think comes out of the West playing?
Oh, West
So I
playing
think so. Okay, actually, let's talk about West playing first. So I think as you said, the Suns have locked up 6 seed, right?
17.
Or 7 seed. Warriors have locked up 10 seed. So
Hmm.
between Blazers and Clippers, who who gets the 8 seed?
Now, the reason I want the Clippers to get the 8th seed is because
Oh,
I
I see.
want,
Because you want Clippers, and you want Warriors. And if they're
yeah,
they're 9-10, that can't happen.
yeah, if they're not, that can't happen. I want it to be
Okay.
Clippers, Spurs, and Thunder Warriors. I think those will be
Okay.
exciting series. Like obviously Clippers
What
and
Clippers Spurs has potential. Warriors Thunder. Yeah, you'll just be watching some Steph Curry depression.
or we could be watching a Steph Curry masterclass.
No, no. Yeah, you have like this fake idea of Steph built up in your head where he's just like a lot greater than he actually is.
Like all time?
Like, no. Just like now. Like Steph is not that good. Steph is no longer that good.
Well, Steph is yeah,
Especially
he's a
especially
little
without a second
washed.
star with him. Especially without a second star with him. Without Jimmy, no. With current
Well,
Draymond,
I
no.
gotta remind you, with Jimmy, they were elite. They won 20, they were 23-5. And they were
Bulls
in the
started
second
off
round
10 and
before.
0.
No,
Bulls
no, they
started
were
off 10 and 0.
23-5 is a lot. That's a big sample size. They beat the Rockets in the second round, right?
The
Curry
Rockets
went
weren't
down.
good.
And they lost in what, 6 games to the Timberwolves?
5.
Oh, 5 games. Yeah, but Curry was injured. He didn't play.
The only game they won was the game that Curry played in.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if with Curry, with Jimmy, they're actually like they're pretty good. Now, obviously,
Not
Jimmy's
this
down.
year. Last year, yeah. Last year, yes. But not this year. This year, they're out here trying to play Al Horford. Warriors management's a joke. They
But yeah,
they they had opportunities to improve the roster. They passed up on all of them.
but yes, you're right. I do want to see Clippers versus Spurs, and I want to see
All right.
Warriors versus Thunder.
For me, so Suns stay 7. And I think I actually have the same picks as the same like prediction as you, which is Clippers take 8 seed, Blazers 9 seed, Warriors 10 seed. And then my picks to come out, I think Clippers, I think Suns beat Clippers, and then Blazers beat. So Suns beat Clippers, and then Clippers. Wait. Suns beat Clippers. Blazers beat Warriors. Clippers beat Blazers. So
So you think it's Clippers Thunder?
make it. Huh?
You think it's Thunder Clipper and Spurs Suns?
Yeah, Thunder Clippers and then Spurs Suns. I want to see the Suns in the playoffs so much more than I want to see the Warriors, and it's not even close.
I do not want to see Jalen Green in the playoffs.
The Sun. Well, I don't care about Jalen Green. Who cares about
Well,
Jalen Green? I
he'll
want to see
be
Devin
playing.
Booker. I want to see Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
I want to see Dylan Brooks.
Wow.
I want to see the villain and Villain Jr.
No, I know, bro. I mean, the Suns are all right. I guess Booker's cool. I won't be mad if the Suns are in the playoffs. That just means that Kawhi or Steph, one of them won't be. I'd rather see them.
Yeah, see, you just have this built-up idea about these old stars that are kind of washed. Actually, Kawhi's not washed. But you have this idea about the old stars. No, we need to see them in the playoffs. No, you don't. You know,
Well, also like part of it is like because they're
time is
old, we don't
over,
get to
we don't
see
get to
them
see
very
them.
much anymore. This could be it.
Yeah. Let them go out on top. Let them go out with fond memory of them, not with them getting locked up by Casey Wallace and their team getting beat by 50. You don't want your last memory of Steph being he tore a muscle in his calf because Lou Dort had a dirty play. Like just let Steph stay healthy at home.
For what? For next season?
No. For his wife and kids.
You're just calling for him to retire?
Yeah, yes, that is exactly what I'm doing. I think Steph should hang him up. It is time. Like not like basketball. Obviously, if you want to get traded, if you're willing to leave the Warriors, I would love to continue watching you play basketball. But I don't want to see Steph suffer on the Warriors. This is a pathetic organization. They've never had success in their history.
Pathetic. What are you talking about? They made it to 4 straight finals.
Yeah,
Wait, 5
because
straight
of Steph
finals.
Curry.
50, 60,
Because
70,
of Steph
80,
Curry.
90, that's 5.
The organization outside of Steph is simply pathetic.
They're not terrible. They're not a poverty franchise.
No, before they had Steph, they were kind of a poverty franchise.
No. They had Will Chamberlain. They had Nate Thurman. They had
and they didn't win anything with Wilt.
Yeah, they had Run TMC Warriors. They had the We Believe Warriors. Like they have some history.
Yeah, Run TMC Warriors. Run TMC Warriors is like this year's Charlotte Hornets. We Believe Warriors is also like this year's Charlotte Hornets. They might as well be the We Believe Hornets. That's the level of comp. That's the level.
If they win, a playoff series, maybe. If they win a playoff series against the MVP,
win a
maybe.
Playoff series. You're sounding like a Kings fan right now. Our goal is to compete for a late playoff series and be competitive in a playoff series. That is the definition of a poverty franchise.
Well, you can't expect a team to winning championships every year. That's only the Lakers and Celtics.
I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting them to have been competent at some point, though.
Yeah, with Wilt.
They weren't competent. They were getting owned.
All right.
Like Wilt on the Sixers, he's beat Bill before. he never beat Bill on Lakers, but like they were good and stuff. But Wilt on the Warriors, that was called getting owned by
Whoa.
Wilt, by
I
Bill.
mean, if we're going off of like franchises and ranking them like historically, the Warriors are maybe
Okay,
fifth.
point. You know what? We're like, don't even talk about all that in the past. Well, the point is, this Warriors front office right now is a joke.
What? Like what? It's like Pete. Wait, is his name Pete? No,
I
Mike.
don't know.
Mike
I don't know who
Dunleavy.
he is. I don't
And
know
like
who
Joe
he is. I
Lacob.
just
No,
know
Jay
he's
Lacob
not doing a good
retired.
job.
I mean, I guess.
He's
No,
not
not
doing a
really.
good
They won a
job. He
championship.
can't develop.
They won a
Can't
championship
like.
just a few years ago.
Well, because of Steph.
Right, and they
This
still have
this
Steph. I
front
don't know
office
what's the
is
issue.
heavily carried by Steph. Steph is not like that anymore. They had Andrew Wiggins. They traded Andrew Wiggins for someone who's on IR right now. They had Kuminga. They had Jordan Poole. They traded Jordan Poole for a man who the Clippers didn't want. They could have Jordan Poole. If they had Jordan Poole right now, I would believe in this team a lot more.
Jordan Poole
Trust
is
me.
not. Jordan Poole is not
Any day of
moving.
the week, I believe in Jordan Poole in the playoffs more than I believe in Brandon Podziemski.
What are we talking about?
Easily.
Brandon Podziemski had a great playoffs last year.
Yeah, what did he average? Tell me what he averaged. Oh, he had 8 points. 8 points. Oh.
No. He averaged probably like 17 points.
Why are we lying? Why are we lying? Like, you're actually just lying now.
No, he had a great playoffs, man. Yeah, let's check him. Right. Okay, he averaged 11. 11, 5, and 3.
He had a great playoffs. 16 or 17. 16 or 17 and 11 is very different.
He actually wasn't great. I mean, he was all right. This is his first playoffs.
Yeah, this is not that good actually. He had game 5 against the Timberwolves. He has a decent game.
Yeah.
28, 6-4. That's actually pretty good. That's actually really good. And then game 4 against the Rockets, 26, 5-5. That's also really good.
Yeah, he had his moments.
Yeah. Jordan Poole has better moments.
Right. As the sixth man on a very, very good team.
Right.
And a
And that
very
team had Clay.
specified.
That team had Clay. They gave up Clay for nothing. They
On
ran
a-
Clay out of town.
Clay
Why
left.
did they do that? They could have Clay right now. If they offered Clay a contract, Clay would have stayed.
The Mavericks overpaid Clay. Everyone knows that.
If they offered Clay a contract, Clay would have stayed.
No.
You think Clay did not want to be a lifetime Warrior? Clay definitely wanted to be a lifetime Warrior.
No, I don't think so.
No, I definitely think so.
I think he maybe kind of wanted to, but what he
No,
wanted more was to bag in
Keep playing with
Dallas.
Steph. He wanted to keep playing with Steph.
No. Yeah, I think what happened was he felt overshadowed by Steph and Draymond. He's like, I'm gonna do it on my own. The Mavericks, hey, they were pretty
That is
good.
not what he was thinking.
We played them in the
Please
conference
think about
finals.
the way that Klay Thompson
Let me go play with
operates right
Luka
now and
Doncic,
tell me
who's
that's
great
what
with
he was
shooters,
thinking.
who's gonna elevate that can help me get open shots. And guess what? Clay's trash now. Nah, Clay's overrated.
Klay is not trash now. He's unironically the second best player on the team right now.
Klay Thompson. No, I don't.
I know you don't watch Mavericks games. I watch a few Mavericks games. I mean,
Just pull up Clay's numbers. They're not great.
Let's see. He's averaging 11 on 39% from 3.
And 39% from the field, bro.
Mm.
No, stop it. He
Hits
started
big shots,
8
though.
games. He started 8 games. What are we talking about here? Like, no, I don't
Closes a lot of games though.
Yeah, I don't want to bash Klay Thompson. And I kind of do that a lot on this podcast, I realize. But like Like, I don't know, man. Him coming back for the 2022 Warriors is more of a morale thing. Like, obviously, it was decent as well, but like, it's more of a morale thing.
No, no, no. Game six Clay was very real that run.
Sure, sure, sure. But yeah, like, you think Clay in 2026 would help the Warriors contend? No. It's
Yeah,
not gonna be
in terms of morale, yeah. This team has no morale right now. This team's dead. They're looking at the bench. Huh. I'm on a team that relies on Brandon Podziemski for offense. We're cooked.
I think whether or not people around the league, whether or not Warriors fans, regardless, whether or not they accept it or not, Brandon Podziemski is the future of the franchise. No, it's literally that. This is what it's coming down to.
No, no, no. He's not the. When Steph retires, they're gonna tank. They're gonna get a real player.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Actually,
saying.
no. Actually, no. You know what's gonna happen? Do you know what's gonna happen? I'll tell you what's gonna happen right now. They're gonna miss the play-in, and the league is gonna rig the lottery for the Warriors. They're gonna get like
Wait,
Derek
what do you miss the
Peterson.
play? They're
So
already in the
that
play.
no, no, no. They're gonna lose the playing game, and
I'll
then they're
miss the
gonna be in the
playoffs.
draft lottery. They're gonna win the lottery. They'll get Darius Acuff at like 5. Actually, they can't get number 5, right? They can only get top 4. They'll get Caleb Wilson at number 4.
But why can't they get number 5?
Because when you win the lottery, you can only get top 4.
Oh,
You know
you
how
mean
the lottery works,
Oh,
right?
you mean they'll literally win the lottery?
Yeah,
Oh. Well,
they'll
if
win the
they no, if
lottery.
they win
They
the
get
lottery,
like
they'll get the first overall pick. What are you talking about?
no, because you can win the lottery and only get the 3rd or 4th.
No, because they all have the same odds for the first. But like when they're going down and they're taking it out, if you win, you're first.
That's not how it works.
No, because they'll announce third, and then they'll announce 4, 3, 2, 1, right? And once they announce
Right.
two,
And
you're one.
what I'm saying is they're not going to get first.
You jump
Okay.
into the
I'm
top
calling it
four.
right. No,
You
no,
could
no,
jump
right
into
now,
the
I'm
top
trying to
four.
predict the future right now. My prediction is they're not getting first. My prediction is they're getting 3rd. Okay.
Right. And once
They're
you
gonna get
jump
Cam
into the
Boost.
top four, you have an equal chance for number one.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, they're getting number 3. That is what I am telling you. They're getting number 3. They're getting Cam Boozer. And Cam Boozer will be the future of the franchise. Not Brandon Podziemski. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it'll be a 1-2 punch. Brandon Podziemski and Cam Booster. That's what I've been saying this
Please.
entire time. I said Brandon Podziemski is going to lead a tank, right? They're going to be bad, and he's going to be their star player. And then they'll draft someone, and it'll be Brandon Podziemski, another
no,
player.
he's Cam Thomas, and he's gonna be out of the league. He'll be playing in China in 3 years. China doesn't want him. He'll be playing in Israel. He'll play in Israel. He can have fun with Pat Bev. At Maccabi, was it Maccabi Tel Aviv? Is that the team name? Maccabi Tel Aviv.
You know, not compare Brandon Podziemski to Cam Thomas, man.
Oh yeah, that's true. Cam Thomas is quite a bit better.
Oh.
Cam Thomas has scored 30 before. Cam Thomas scored 40 before. Has he dropped 50? I don't think he's dropped 50.
No.
Cam Thomas has dropped 30 before, though.
Dude,
You know who hasn't?
No, yes, Brandon Podziemski can pass. He can rebound. You can defend.
Right.
You can shoot.
Right.
Like, yeah, does his bag look great? No, it doesn't. Right? You'll be lying
Right.
to say like
He'll fall on the floor in front of KD and make it look like he's worshiping.
Okay. All right, that's a little.
No, like Brandon Podziemski is this generation's Shaqtin' a Fool king.
Oh, do they still give Shaqtin' full MVPs? Are they still doing that?
I know they still do Shaqtin' a Fool. I don't know if they're still giving out MVPs. I occasionally do watch some. I do occasionally tune into some Shaqtin' a Fool. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe.
No, wait, before you do that.
Right. What are we doing? Okay, yeah. Please do not do this. Please, okay. I will censor. I may or may not censor that when I'm editing if I figure out how to censor things. Yeah. Goodbye.